city soon be added to a valley map? If Elon Musk gets his, the answer would be yes. This week, Musk announced he wants to take his SpaceX project a step further by incorporating Boca Chica Village into a city called Starbase. Local 23's Iris Karami looks at what has to be done before that can happen.
This is historically, in a way, how a lot of municipalities get started.
University of Houston law professor Kellen Zale says visionaries creating their own cities is not uncommon, and Musk's target Boca Chica Village is not an official city in Cameron County.
Because it's just a informal community, meaning it never incorporated. They didn't actually create a city. Anybody can do what's being done here, which is propose an incorporation, and they don't have to use the existing informal name.
Cameron County Judge Eddie Trevino said in a public statement, Musk has to abide by all incorporation statutes to be approved.
And then you have to get a petition signed by, for most of the cities, it is 50 inhabitants of the proposed area.
Applicants also must have a minimum of 201 people in their city's population.
If you have less than 2,000 inhabitants, the most size you can have is 2 square miles.
However, according to Texas State Historical Association, Boca Chica had 26 residents in 2000. If the county judge passes the application in an election, a local government is required.
So they have to have a democratic form of government under Texas law.
And SpaceX did not respond with a comment on their plans, though Musk announced on Twitter his plans of establishing Starbase. Putting local first in Boca Chica, I'm Iris Karami.
I told you COVID was creeping. Electricity is only going to get higher and more expensive, so Agarate. Mayra Flores sets up shop in San Benito with no plans on leaving. And let's talk about SpaceX. Nah, it is Wednesday, July 6th, 7:04 a.m. A tad late, technical difficulties. My name is Frankie Olivo, and this is Good Morning Brownsville. I'm debating whether I should continue with my favorite segment, the reason why you and I wake up every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and are tuning in. But unfortunately, I see no rain in our forecast. For the next week, it seems it is going to be very, very hot in the triple digits. We did have many individuals go out to South Padre Island this past weekend for the festivities, and we're able to enjoy the sun rays. So if you could, make sure you take the friends and family out to the beach. It's a perfect time to be out there. Making memories. It's always a good thing whenever it's out with the family. Good morning, ma'am. Hope you have a good day. Now it's coming again. It seems as if the nightmare that we all wanted to go away is coming back. We have been hearing about many people contracting the COVID-19 virus. The scary thing about it is that individuals thought that once they got the vaccine and the booster, they would be okay. What we have been seeing from across the United States and even across the world has been that this virus has mutated and has evolved into a new virus, a new strain that right now that the current vaccinations aren't able to contain it. We heard from the Cameron County Health Director, Juan Castillo, that he did state that there will be deaths. And it's very alarming to hear that, because who can forget the events during the pandemic? It was something that, our world has never experienced. We did have a large number of cases in Cameron County. And, unfortunately, many people did succumb to the virus. Now, is death at our doorstep once again? It seems that way. Yesterday, the city of Brownsville did increase their threat matrix to 2, making the citizens aware that, hey, you need to take every precaution necessary to be safe. And once again, who can forget what we were all doing this past weekend? The Dr. Castillo, the health director for Cameron County, he did state that the large reason why these infection rates have been and will be going very, very high is because of large gatherings. It's the summertime. Who wants to be holed up at the house? And the interesting thing is that he says that it is something that we must go through, that there will be no vaccinations in immediate time to be able to combat and stop this virus. It's evolving. And that's the scary part, because here we were focusing on COVID-19, and then we hear of an Omicron. And then now I didn't even register in my mind, because now there's two strains. Now it's a B something 52 and a B something 53. It's getting to a point where now it's, take your pick. Now it's not just COVID. Now this has evolved exponentially. And what can we expect moving forward? We could expect a lot of individuals being sick. There will be a rise in hospitalizations. One thing that the city did mention that has been, as of right now, has been steady. They haven't been seeing that increase, that sharp increase in COVID cases. Now, what are the recommendations? Well, protect yourselves at all costs, of course. The main reason why Dr. Castillo did mention that we are going to be seeing a large rise in cases is because of social gatherings. 4th of July weekend, where we were partying, we were hanging out. This is something that is part of our everyday lives. We need to make sure that our family, that our household is safe. Some individuals, they prefer not to take the vaccine, but they are very good at, wearing a mask, make sure they're always washing their hands, being as hygienic as possible to try and prevent. Hey, that's gonna work, brother. Yee. Thank you so much for stopping by, Mr. Quesada. Hope you and your colleagues at the Cameron County Sheriff's Department have a great day, and thank you for your service, not only to our country, but to our county. Thank you so much, sir, for everything that you do. I hope to see you soon. Hope you have a good day, Mr. Quesada. Thank you so much. But again, COVID is here, and we've been slowly announcing this to our community, not to be fear mongers, but just to take every precaution necessary. The threat matrix did increase from 1 to 2, and we can only imagine where this is going. We are going to see a large amounts of people contract the virus once again. What's going to happen is the United States going to prepare and do everything possible to create another vaccine. It doesn't seem that way. It seems as if the herd immunity, that the idea that they once had is not working. But I don't anticipate new vaccines coming out. The best thing that we can do is be safe, avoid large gatherings if that's what you choose, but make sure that we are always trying to protect ourselves and our family as much as possible. Now, the world, as we know, is very, very expensive, with the likes of gas going through the roof, electronics being hard to find and very, very pricey. But one thing that we've also been hearing, and not only because it's the summer, but one thing that we have been hearing a lot of complaints about as of late has been our electricity bill. And one could say, you know what, it's the summer, it's hot, we are using that aircon more frequently since we are all home, and we do drop the temperature, because hey, we like to be cool. Who wants to be cooking inside the house without the air on? But one thing that we can all agree on is that electricity bills as of late have been sky high. Here at the city of Brownsville, the Public Utilities Board has monopolized and controlled this area for far too long. And many of us have questioned. I'm fortunate enough to live in the hood where I have Magic Valley. But other individuals that live within the city don't have that privilege. And many have argued and stated, hey, why is this electric company, why does it have a stranglehold on us? And hey, competition is good. We embrace competition. Why? Because it makes the companies, provide better service, provide a better rate. And more than anything, as a consumer, we have options. Options in life is very key, whether that's in your profession or in or in relationships. We want options, but unfortunately for the city of Brownsville, we don't have that option within the city. The PUB, we have seen how the rates have skyrocketed, but that is in large part to what is going on around the world. And yes, I know many don't want to talk about this, but you know, the world currently is at a standstill. Russia is currently invading Ukraine. They already 2-3 months in. An operation that they thought were going to take a couple weeks has extended itself. One could argue and say, you know, that the assistance from the United States and its allies have allowed Ukraine to fight to the very end, it seems. But where am I going with this? What does Ukraine have to do with our electric bill? You know, we did hear President Biden blame Russia and state the reasons why you are paying more at the pump is because of Russia. You know, Russia is a large export of oil, of natural gas. Now, is this what is leading to an increase in electric bills? And the answer is yes. The latest with the Russian war has showed us that the world has been at a standstill, and many entities that once relied on that production, on that flow, have seen the inflation rate of gas, the price of gas, rise over 200%. Now, what does that lead to? It leads to us having more expensive electricity. Why? Because now we are seeing that the use of natural gas and gasoline has gone up, and that affects electricity. You know, one would think that, you know, hey, you know, we have wind turbines. How hard is it, you know, just to transmit the electricity from one to the other? And look, I'm all for competition. I wish that our city commission would do a better job of being more vocal. It seems as if, you know, the candidates, when they ran, they said, you know, I'll take a look at PUB and we'll do the audit, and Tenaska this, Tenaska that. But once they get in, we don't hear a word from them. Mayor Mendez did state earlier on May the 4th that the city commission did vote to decrease the PUB electric rates by over 20% over the next 2 years. And he did state that, you know, hey, FYI, this decrease in prices, they will start June the 1st. And you will see these adjustments within due time. But what have we seen? We have seen totally the opposite. We have seen how the prices have skyrocketed. Now, as we can all agree, Mayor Mendez, those on the commission, they don't really have any control over politics throughout the world. This is something that we are going to be dealing with for the very near future. Just the way gas has been soaring, electric bills, they have been rising at a very, very high rate. Now, once again, natural gas is more expensive than ever, and that is the main reasons why that your electricity bill is going up. Now, the city commission, they might say, you see, it's not my fault. It is the what is going around the world. Don't blame me, blame Russia. That's something that our president said. But this is something that the world is facing, not just the city of Brownsville, not just the state of Texas, but the world. The world right now is at a standstill because gas, natural gas, oil is expensive to export. And another thing, what's going to happen with Tenaska? We have been slowly waiting for us to get word on this audit, this forensic audit that was going to take place. And every commissioner that we hear of, you know, we hear different figures and different numbers. You know, some say it's in the 100 million, some say it's in the 60 to 80 million of the Tenaska deal. But what we can all agree on is that we would hope that one day our commissioners, our mayor, would fight and say, you know what, PUB has a stranglehold on this city. And PUB belongs to the citizens of Brownsville. It is a public utility board. It is not a private organization. And one would think, well, you know, it would be a lot easier to create another company or allow competition to come in, right? Well, not so fast. Again, these individuals have monopolized this market for the city of Brownsville, and it would not be in their best interest to allow competition, to say, you know what, we are going to let Magic Valley, we're going to let all these electrical companies come in and give y'all consumers a better rate. That's not the way it works. They want to control, they want to make money as much as possible. And, you know, we can go into the high salaries of those in high positions. But our question remains, what is the latest on Tenaska? Why have our commissioners been very silent about this? Again, we have heard about that the FBI has been involved within PUB. There have been over, several cases where consumers' information was attacked. There was over $1 million, $2 million that was deposited in a foreign account, and that the FBI came. It's a mess. But what you and I can agree on is that we need some sort of help. The world as we know it is getting a lot more expensive. Gasoline is through the roof, and now we are starting to feel the pinch even more through our electric bill. Some individuals I have seen, and they've showed me their monthly statements, and from one month to another, it has gone up exponentially. Some $100, some $200, some $300, and they say, "Hey, I don't have kids. I'm hardly home. I'm on the road. I'm a truck driver." But again, the reasons why that we are starting to see a large increase in cases is because of what is going on around the world. Unfortunately, right now, the world is at a standstill because we are starting to supply Ukraine with a lot of artillery resources and money. And what we have seen is that the production of oil and gas has been at a standstill. And again, supply and demand. If there's not a lot of supply going on, you can jack up the prices because, hey, where are these people going to go to? Nowhere. Now, this past election really set the tone for November. The Republicans were able to gain a victory and make history in South Texas. Mayra Flores did win the election for District 34 against Dan Sanchez. Mr. Sanchez was her main opponent for this special election. And one thing that we have seen since this election has been that many individuals are now proud to say, hey, you know what? I voted red. We can all agree that South Texas has been one of the poorest areas in the United States for many, many years. And one could argue and say, hey, all we see throughout the tenures of representatives, senators, congressmen, of those at the Cameron County Commissioners Court level is that our area, Brownsville, Cameron County, always remains to be poor. We never progress. But whenever you look at the net income, the net worth of these individuals, of these reps, of these senators, of these congressmen, of these Cameron County commissioners, is that they've gotten a little bit fatter with their pockets. You and I agree that we feel as if our local politicians have been enriching themselves and benefiting them and their families and their friends, and the rest of the community, bien gracias. What we saw from this election was the turn of Cameron County. Here we have Congresswoman Flores and her family being sworn in by Nancy Pelosi. And again, this made history. Why? Because she was the first Latina, first woman to be sworn in as a Republican in Cameron County. And, what was very shocking to note was the numbers. And again, it's all a numbers game. In Cameron County, Mayra Flores did edge out Dan Sanchez by over let's say 500 votes. In Cameron County, she was not able to get the 51%, but throughout her district, she easily obtained that 51%, 50% and one vote. But this made history. And Mayra Flores right now currently has all the momentum in the world as she seeks to stake her claim in South Texas in the race in November against Vicente Gonzalez. And one thing that we can all agree on is that we all feel that it's time for change. We all know what we get with Democratic Party, whether that be at the city commission or even at the county level. What we have seen from these politicians has been that all they seem to focus on, is on themselves. Haven't you noticed on the city commission that each commissioner has their own projects? One has the one has the trails, one is focusing on downtown, another one is focusing on LGBTQ and providing his homeboy with contracts and money. Brian Martinez, Influx Marketing. But haven't you noticed that at the commission level? We have one from San Benito Harlingen area who gave his son's engineering company millions of dollars, over $8 million contract. And we can go down the line, each and every one of them, of what they've done. They haven't done nothing for the county themselves, but what they have done is that they have enriched themselves, that they have gone, them and their families have done very well for themselves. Now, what do we expect from a Republican? Many times whenever we say Republicans, like, oh my God, no, because they're horrible people and we just stick to Democrats. I was born a Democrat and that's the way we have to live. Let's not depend on that. Let's focus and let's put our attention to business. In the private sector, it's all about numbers. I have been speaking about corporate America. Corporate America does not care about how Frankie feels today. The big question is Frankie producing? Can we see a potential growth in Frankie for us to make that investment? If yes, let's hire him. Let's give him a raise. Let's make him happy. But if not, let's get rid of him. Same thing with our politicians. We should do everything possible to make sure that our politicians are working hard, not to enrich themselves, but to provide a better quality of life for you and I, for our community. That is the way we should view our politicians and keep them on a short leash. Mayra Flores was recently at the Cameron County Commissioners Court meeting. She did make the announcement that she was going to be renting with the approval, with the unanimous approval of the county commissioners, that she will be renting the annex building in San Benito. This woman, she is from the San Benito Harlingen area, and she's already marking her territory. Again, this was a historic victory for the Republicans in South Texas and for Ms. Mayra Flores, being a woman, being a Latina, being a Republican. And what this has shown is that people are fed up and they're tired. They are tired of individuals who are just seeking out for their best interests and not for the interest of us as a whole. Ms. Mayra Flores will be having her satellite office in San Benito with the likes of our Cameron County Clerk, Sylvia Garza Perez, and our Justice of the Peace, Chuy Garcia, who also has an office there. So it is important for Ms. Mayra Flores to mark her territory, make sure that the community is aware that she is present, she is home. And what will this signify past November? This shows us that, hey, I'm going to rent an office, I'm going to set up shop, and I don't plan on leaving. We have all the momentum in the world, and we are going to win in November. That is the mindset that Ms. Mayra Flores, the Republican Party, the GOP in South Texas have moving forward. And who could blame them? Right now, they're on cloud nine. They're waltzing, they're galloping to the race in November. Ms. Mayra Flores will now be having an office in the San Benito area at the Cameron County Annex building, where she will be setting up shop. And she does not plan on leaving anytime soon. Let's talk about SpaceX. The Cameron County Commissioners Court, they did table the SpaceX decision that we have been monitoring as of late. And the key issue on this is the closures of over five streets. Now, we have talked about over and over again how we feel as if Elon Musk is being that big gorilla and he's throwing his power, his weight, his money around to get what he wants. We have seen how he has thrown $1 million at BISD, $1 million for downtown revitalization. We have seen how we have caved pretty much for peanuts. Now, again, I have been on the record of this and have stated, I'm on the fence. Why? Because, well, who doesn't want to see Brownsville prosper? Being born and raised in the city of Brownsville, I've always had the city of Brownsville of that city on a hill. You know, I want to be that McAllen. I want to be that Austin. I want to be that metropolitan city that is thriving in business and education and has so much opportunity that your kids and your grandkids don't have to leave to Austin, don't have to leave to San Marcos. They can stay here because this is the land of opportunity. Unfortunately, we don't have that. You know, we could blame the Democratic Party, we could blame the representatives, we could blame the senators all we want. But at the end of the day, is this a case? Is SpaceX a case in which the world's richest man is using one of the poorest areas in the United States to get what he wants? And the issue is a public beach, which the Texas Constitution gives every and all right for its citizens, for its inhabitants to use at their will. What we have been seeing as of late has been nothing but closures. The Cameron County office did post. Let me make this a little bit. Did post new dates today from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. There will be a closure today, July 6th, tomorrow, July 7th, on Monday, July 11th, and Tuesday, July the 12th. And one thing that we have heard from individuals that live in the Starbase Boca Chica Village area, and we have friends that have ranches out there. One thing that we have heard is that, hey, man, you know, it's all about control. Why are we giving this man more than he's allowed to? And, you know, we can go back to the MOU that was agreed upon back in 2013, 2014, that, you know, gave SpaceX a certain amount of allocated time and hours to perform their tests, to have closures for the city of Brownsville. But nonetheless, we are starting to see how the Cameron County Commissioner's Court has been siding with Elon for pretty much everything. And again, I don't want to seem like I'm an anti-Eli. What I do want to see is I don't want to lose control. And that is one thing that I've been noticing that our commissioners have been willing to do. They have not been very vocal as of late regarding Elon. And this agenda item that was supposed to take place yesterday, did not come about. And again, there are 5 streets. There are 5 streets in question that there is a possibility that they will allow for to be closed. Now, as you can close your eyes and imagine, we are starting to stretch that imaginary line that we gave Elon Musk to close the roads. Now it's not just the roads to the beach. Now it's a portion of Remedios Avenue, Joanna Street, Annette Street, Lucero Court. Can you see that in your mind? Can you see that the gap, that area that Elon Musk was given is getting wider and is getting bigger? There are talks, there are rumblings out there that Elon Musk and his people will be buying everything. And this is my area. I'm on Minnesota. I'm like right here. I'm 2 minutes away from the airport. Everything from Lucio and El Jardín on down to Boca Chica, Elon Musk is going to buy that. And guess what he's going to do? It's my property. Get off my land. Eventually. Why? Because we have not seen our commissioner's court be adamant, be vocal about it. Oh, ¿qué quieres, Elon? ¿Quieres? Why? Because we don't want Elon to go against us. Elections are coming up. These road closures were discussed in executive session. Why isn't this done in open in an open forum? Could it be because, you know, elections is right around the corner? Our county judge does not want to piss anybody off, maybe. And with the talks of possibly having road closures and giving Elon Musk even more power and the ability to close even more streets down, that's not going to fare well with the residents of Cameron County of Brownsville, Texas. But again, what we have seen from our commissioners have been the lack of setting their foot down and saying, you know what, Elon, I'm for the people. Let's talk about this. Everything is done behind closed doors. And again, there are a lot of, and I understand the reasons why, you know, there are a lot of litigation. You know, they do want to ask attorneys some questions. But, you know, the idea remains, is the commissioner's court more inclined to give Elon what he wants? Whatever you want, master. We are here to serve you. Or are they here to serve the residents of Cameron County and making sure that all our needs and concerns are met? It feels as if commissioners court, all they're doing really is just focusing on their own agendas. And again, this isn't nothing new. We understand the way politics works. We just feel that we wish that we would have people on the commission that would be more vocal and that would say, you know what, let's talk about this. We want more. And the Cameron County Commissioners Court, they did not vote on this the previous time because I think there was only one individual that was there for public forum, and they did wanted to make this. They wanted to give more opportunity for individuals to come and speak their mind. You know, we're all for that. But at the end of the day, what are we going to see from our county commissioners? Will they bow down to the world's richest man, or will they come to some sort of truth or some sort of understanding that will benefit not Elon Musk, not the commissioners, but the citizens of Brownsville? And that, my friends, is the rest of the story. I told you COVID was creeping up. Electricity prices are only going to go up. Agarate. There's no way around it. Mayra Flores is setting up shop in San Benito with no plans on leaving. And let's talk about SpaceX. Nah, I'm good. It is Wednesday, July 6th, 7:33 a.m. My name is Frank Olivo. Thank you so much for your time and your patience. All Valley Smiles. If you need a cleaning, if you need a root canal, if you need any service, any dental services, 956-832-0050. Good Morning Brownsville is sponsored by All Valley Smiles. Thank you for your time and your attention. Hope to see y'all here on Friday. God bless.